Hello everyone, my name is Annie Sue, and this is my final project, which I call Individuality. First is It's What's Inside That Counts. These images are sorted in a bit of a chronological order, starting with the events that occurred further back in the past and things that I've come to accept as part of myself most recently. It's What's Inside That Counts sort of calls to the idea that people commonly know as it's what's inside your personality, which is what counts. For me, this refers to more of our physical self inside of our clothes, because in my past, I used to think that that's what mattered, that ourselves physically, and even today, people will make assumptions based on your physical appearance. But I used to think strongly that it counted so much that if it didn't look good, then no one would really like who I was. And so this calls back to sort of me being insecure about my legs due to some scarring that they had from bug bites. And the use of a double exposure sort of shows the layers of me and the layers of the clothes to my leg. Slanted refers to another sort of physical insecurity that I've had and will still have even now, because a couple years back I found out I had scoliosis, unfortunately, and that was a big struggle that I had. The idea that I'm, slanted, that I'm not correct, that I'm not even, and since it's not really fixable, that I can't be fixed. And this sort of shines into the bit about myself. And in this photo, I use the light to sort of focus on my back. And, that was a big insecurity that I had back then that, if people knew, then it would be a big deal. But now I've come to learn that it's not so big, though it's still a bit annoying to this day. Next is You Wear Makeup, which is another, not an insecurity, but an idea that I'm sure a lot of people are told, especially girls, that you wear makeup, that girls wear makeup, or that girls are supposed to wear makeup, or they're expected to wear makeup. This might be more of my own personal experience, having a family of mine tell me that, who's gonna do your makeup when you're older if I'm not there to do it? And it's the idea that, like, I'm expected to wear makeup when I'm really not. And this picture was sort of to tell the idea of covering yourself up, but in showing my eyes through the makeup, I want to show that, you know, no matter what, you're still just you underneath it. So it's not entirely required that you wear makeup, because either way, it's ultimately your decision and you're still yourself. Growing up, this picture is to show my own style and how that's developed over the years, with the running shoes on the bottom, which was more of something I used to wear when I was in elementary, young, to the top, which is something I wear even now. And growing up is just a way of showing how I've developed my own fashion over the years, which I know is involves a lot of physical expression, or is a way for people to express themselves. So in this picture, I wanted to show that how I've changed how I've expressed myself over the years. Next is Plain and Simple, which relates back to the bit of the self-expression part. In this, it's all Converse shoes, which are 90% of the shoes I own. Well, these being most of the shoes I own to begin with. But Plain and Simple is meant to show that that is how I decided I like to live my life. Just plain and simple, nothing brightly colored. As you can see, these shoes are mostly black and white, but that is a bit about me that I feel is important because the way people dress and the way people like to live their lives are a pretty big part of themselves, which I feel this is. Show Don't Tell ties into a bit of discovering sort of queer identity. Um, not telling your family anything yet. In this bookshelf is mostly queer literature, I will admit. Show Don't Tell is meant to be how sort of this part of me that's hidden on the shelves. And easily, if you pick up a book and read it, you'll know what it's about. But that's only if you show people the books and tell them through that. But given that I don't really tell anyone about my identity or anything like that. So in Show Don't Tell, it's sort of showing the way how I like to handle with that identity. Next is feminine. A lot of the time, some girls might feel that they have to be feminine. And I thought that in the past too, thinking that as a girl, I should wear a dress. And I would always dread the idea of wearing a dress because I did not like to wear dresses. So feminine ties into the idea that, even with what you wear, you can still be how you want. You can still be feminine even if you're wearing a suit and tie. And in this picture, it might be a bit difficult to see. I'm wearing a skirt under all that and sort of trying to tear at it, which is sort of me just rejecting this sort of ideology that to be feminine, you need to wear like skirts, you need to wear all this and that. Next is preserving energy. This is me realizing that school is not everything and featuring my actual school binder and real ripped pieces of AP Physics. Preserving energy is supposed to show how I'm not letting school envelop my life like how I used to. And preserving energy ties into physics, but also myself in that I'm finally preserving my own energy by not having school completely take it over and suck up all my attention. Next is found family. I know a lot of people might realize or might think that family is who they are related to by blood. But in found family, I wanted to show that family is more than that. And one of my most cherished found family that I could take a picture with within this time frame is my dog Pocky, who I love very much. And found family is just supposed to show that you can find people and their family too. That they don't have to be someone that you were birthed from, or they were birthed from someone that you share blood with. It can be more than that. Next is finding acceptance. This ties back into the queer identity, but it also ties into the family aspect. All of these bracelets here are either from a friend or they were made by a friend. And finding acceptance is sort of how I feel when making those friends. That they became friends with me because they appreciated who I was, and they stay friends with me, and they accept who I am. And finding acceptance plays into finding them as friends, and also in the image, it's sort of me finding that bracelet and realizing that people out there will love you. And that's it for my presentation. Thank you.